We've done a lot of camping, and the one thing we were always missing was a decent kitchen setup. Now, we've had plenty of kitchen setups in this Canopy, but they just don't really work out for the layout. So the first thing we're going to need is a decent bench. So today, part one of this revamp of the kitchen is we're going to build a bench. Now, this thing is so easy to build that you guys can do it at home with absolutely minimal effort. This, seriously, I even surprised myself how easy this was to do. Today's kitchen bench. Right, so today we're going to build a kitchen bench that's going to hang off the ute tray. Now this is going to be so handy for doing like dishes or preparing food, cooking on, or even just having a cold beer standing around if it's raining or getting under the shade of the awning. It's going to fit inside the canopy when we're finished. Super easy to set up, super easy to pack away. It's going to be built using just the basic tools. We're not going to drill into the ute. Something to really get your teeth into on a wet Saturday afternoon like we have today. Should only take a couple of hours. I have had countless iterations of this toolbox, and look, I'm still not happy with the kitchen setup. The other side, the driver's side, perfect, love it. The Voyager, sweet as. Fridge, going really well. It's just this kitchen setup. I think there's a bit of wasted space in the storage department. I've never really been happy with this unit. It is pretty heavy. So what I'm thinking of is getting rid of this and getting maybe a normal pantry and putting in some homemade drawers so I could put the air fryer and that sort of stuff on this side. But for today's video, we're going to build the bench, so at least I've got a starting point, and then I can build on from there, deciding what I want to do here without having to worry about having a bench built into it. So in order for this to work, I've actually written down a few objectives that this has to fulfill. Must fit inside the canopy and not take up any more room. Must be attached to the side of the four-wheel drive. Must be strong enough to lean on without support legs. Must be lighter than the previous kitchen setup when it's all finished. Must be able to set up in under 30 seconds. Must be able to DIY for people at home to do. And must look cool while doing all of the previous things. They're the objectives. Let's see if we can fulfill them. So, the plan. Bear with me here. I've had a couple of ideas. The first idea was to get a 50 by 50 box section. This isn't the right size, but something like this, to go into this bottom locating hole for the jack off, and then just put that in and build the bench on this and going that way. I don't know if one point would be strong enough. It might be, but I didn't want to have to take this locating pin out every time and put it back in again. I just feel that's a bit of a hassle to do, and if I forget that, it's big problems for the canopy. The other thought I had then was using this top mount and maybe putting a 90-degree angle and another 90-degree angle, but my manufacturing skills probably aren't up to that, and I do feel it would be a bit of a weak point and maybe a bit wobbly. So then what I thought I would do is use these locating pins for the tray sides for them when they fold down, because I never have the tray sides on when I have the canopy on. So based on that, I was going to look at a hinge, like a gate hinge, to locate over that and then try and weld something onto the bottom of it that would hit that bar, so keep it solid. And I thought, well, what about just a bracket? And I got another little piece of metal just to buff it out a bit. So something like that I came up with. It's going to be so easy just to slip over, just bolt the bench top onto this. I mean, how simple is that? That's the loose idea at the minute. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to jump in the car, I'm going to go to Bunnings, and I'm going to buy a bench top, and I'm going to buy a couple of these long, I'm hoping to get ones that are a bit longer and maybe a bit deeper. That's all I need. So we'll come back and we'll start thinking about how we're going to put this all together. And we are back from Bunnings, and I've had a win, let me tell you. I found these alloy brackets, which have sort of a pack out in them already. They're for a shelf, obviously, inside, and the gusset here is for strength, but I reckon I can punch a hole through the middle of that gusset and slip that over the pin, and that'll sit firm against the tray, grind off the excess length, and that's it. I ended up getting a Merbau kitchen bench top. I don't know if it's a kitchen bench top, but a bench top that's 1200 long by 405 wide by 18 mil thick. So then I got some 6G 18 mil timber screws, stainless steel so they won't rust. And that's it. I don't know if it could be that easy. I thought I'd also tell you the price. The wood, the timber, was 56 bucks. The two brackets were $15.92 each, and the screws were $4.75. That's it. Whatever that all adds up to, that's what we're spending today. And the bench is done. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to measure this up, see the diameter of the pins on the tray, and I'm going to punch the holes through here and then grind the leg off. So let's get into it. while we're waiting for the brackets to dry, I'm going to give something a go. So we have a window banner here, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to line it up on the board. I'm going to stick it down, and I'm going to get the old map gas and burn around it and see if it'll stencil out our logo. Worth a go. If it doesn't work, I can always flip the top up and use the other side anyway. So, but I reckon I want to give it a go. See what happens. What are we thinking? I think this has turned out absolutely epic. Absolutely mint. How good's that? Yeah, I didn't know if that would work or not, but that has worked really well. All right, the brackets are probably dry by now. I'm just gonna put them on, we'll mock it up. I think I'm gonna punch some new holes into the brackets because they're too big, the ones that are there, just some little holes for the screws to go up in. And that could be it. All right. I like it a lot. All right, it's the next day. I ended up taking Luke's advice and Logan's. They both said I should hit this with a bit of clear coat. So I ended up going to Bunnings. I just got a can of clear coat lacquer stuff, satin finish. And I've used the whole can. I hit it with about 5 or 6 coats, and it's actually made the world of difference to it. It's so yeah, it's done now, it's finished, and the finished product is amazing. Right, so now we've achieved half of the objectives. The bench is built. Now we've got to work out somewhere to store it. So we've had a good look at this. I had a look at up in here in the ceiling of the canopy, but I actually can't get it in enough to make a bracket for it. And the other thing I looked at was pulling the fridge forward a bit and sliding it in the width of the canopy. Now, look, if you're doing this and you have that room, that's the best place to put it. For me to move everything forward that much, it's just really it's gonna be too big of a job and too big of a move just for a bench. I'm probably not willing to do that. And Logan was here the other day and we were having a look and we looked up and went, hang on, what about the cavity inside the door? I've devised a fitting system to go up into this canopy that doesn't involve drilling through the canopy door, so it won't compromise any of the waterproofness. I am going to drill through the sides of the canopy door where the braces are, but I'm not going to drill through to the outside. This is going to store up in there. So let me talk you through how that's going to happen. So let me explain a little bit about what we've done. So we've punched 2 holes in each side of the canopy and put a bit of booker rod through it, and then just tighten that up with a couple of, well, nylock nuts each end and a locking nut on the inside. And it's just going to slide on then a couple of nylock nuts to secure it in place. The other thing I'm going to do, and I found this in the shed, I'm just going to put a bit of pinch weld along this top edge inside here, and that'll protect the bench from this part of the canopy. And then I went to Clark Rubber and bought a piece of foam and offcut, and I'm going to stick to the top bit of this. And that should keep the bench secure and not rattling about and not damage the bench or the canopy while we're driving, especially with our corrugations. All right, let's see how long this bench is going to take to set up. Start. Stop the clock. Oh, 23 seconds. So that comes in under the 30-second mark. So there we have it, the finished product. Now, I'm actually so happy about how this has turned out, and it's one of the simplest things that we can ever do. We'll leave a link below to all the parts that we used and whatever else. It's really solid. It's a really good height, especially to have a beer. And the bonus is you can customize it on the top with whatever you want. The extra bonus that I didn't realize is I measured it to go here because this is where I feel it'll be good. The kitchen will be here, but it does actually fit onto these 2 as well. So you can choose where you want it to go. And the fact that it's just stored up here, everything's at hand and easy to get to. Now, next thing, part 2 is obviously the camp kitchen and how we're going to make that. But while we're here, let's talk about the criteria that we set ourselves. So let's go through and see if this does actually tick all the boxes that we wanted to tick. So, must fit inside the canopy. Check. Must be attached to the side of the 4-wheel drive. Check. Must be strong enough to lean on with on support legs. Check. Must be lighter than the previous kitchen setup. Checkity check check, it was 73 kilos. This is, well, we haven't finished the kitchen yet, but this is about 5, I don't know. Must be able to set up in 30 seconds. I've done a time lapse. I'm not a time lapse, didn't need the time lapse because it was 23 seconds, but you can see that. Must be able to DIY at home. Honestly, if you want to do something, you've got a spare afternoon, this is the easiest thing you'll do. It honestly is so easy to put together. As long as your tray has pins on the side of it, I reckon pretty easy to do. And lastly, must look cool while doing all the previous things. I don't know if I'm good at that. That's maybe the only one that we can't tick. So anyway, it's hit all the marks, and for all the mods we do on this channel, it's probably one of the easiest ones, but honestly, it's one of the best ones too. Everybody needs bench space. So anyway, please do remember to subscribe if you like this sort of stuff. Give us a like, give us a thumbs up, and give us some comments what you think we could do in this spot, because I'm really not decided what I want to do yet. So until then, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you.